Hey guys, Weir here from the greenhouse. Crazy weather. It was dumping rain earlier. Now the sun just came out. It was freezing and now it's warming up, and it's just nuts here in California. But this isn't about the weather or vegetables. This is actually about a chance that we can do something in the manipulation of silver as per the regulators that are supposed to be keeping an eye on it. Our good friend Ted Butler, who's been fighting this fight since the early 80s, believe it or not, the silver fight, mid 80s to early 80s. So what is that? 30 years. Unbelievable fight. We know most of what we know about silver manipulation from Ted Butler's work. And the amazing thing about Ted is that he uses the CFTC's own data to prove manipulation again and again and again. But it's a rough uphill climb. For years, we've been writing letters to the CFTC and to the SEC and to the president and to everybody saying, hey, silver's rigged, silver's rigged. There's been 3 silver manipulation cases that have been investigated. All 3 were basically tossed out, mainly because the price of silver on the COMEX was in line with the price of silver of the LBMA, because they said the LBMA is a physical market. And if you can show me where they found 130 billion ounces of physical silver that transferred in 2016, I will believe you that it's a physical market. But it's not a physical market, and we all know it. So here's what we need to do and we have to do. There was an announcement on Monday at the CFTC that 2 new people have joined. Now, first of all, as far as the commissioners, they still only have 2 out of the 5. And who knows what's going to go on there. But what they did do is add 2 new people. And the first guy's name is James McDonald as the director of the Enforcement Division. The Enforcement Division is where they enforce the rules. And obviously, we need somebody who's going to enforce the rules on the COMEX. So that's a good thing. But the second one is even more exciting. This guy, Andrew Bush, not spelled the same way. It's spelled B-U-S-C-H, just in case you're worried. And he's actually going to head up a new division within the CFTC. This is something I've been screaming at them for a while. It's called Chief Market Intelligence Officer, which means he's supposed to know what's going on in the market. Now, why they didn't have one of those before is anybody's guess. But here's the deal. So Ted Butler is coming out tomorrow with an article. He sent it to his subscribers early. And I asked him if it's okay if I put this on video, because he doesn't do much YouTube. And he said that's fine as long as the YouTube people stick to what he's asking. And he wrote a letter to the CFTC that I'm going to read you. And he's asking you to copy that letter and send it to the CFTC. Don't send them anything else. Don't send them anything about gold or anything else. Just the information on this letter. If we're specific about the specific problems, then we can do something about this. So I'm asking you, I'm begging you, once again, we've done this many times, to make a copy of this letter and send it to, there's 4 email addresses that I have placed. They're on this letter, but I put the letter at the Road to Ruta website right at the top. It says letter from Ted Butler. And copy and paste it to the CFTC. There's four people on that list. The people are Andrew Bush, the new guy, James McDonald, Christopher Giancarlo, who is the acting head of the CFTC, because they don't even have a head, and the only commissioner who's on it is Sharon Bowen. So look, if those 4 people get thousands of copies of this letter, the exact information, you can sign your own name to it. Ted doesn't care as long as you get information. We need everybody. We need thousands of people to attack the CFTC for the criminality that's going on. And this letter proves it. Once again, Ted uses the CFTC's own data. I'm going to read it really quick and point out a couple things. Dear Sirs, he's addressing this to Andrew Bush and James McDonald. Dear Sirs, congratulations and best wishes on your appointments to key positions at the Commission at this critical time in market history. I'm writing concerning a matter that the Commission has considered on a number of occasions, allegations of a silver price manipulation on the commodity exchange, the COMEX. The reason the Commission has considered the issue of silver price manipulation several times in the past is because the agency's own public data and guidelines point strongly to such manipulation. Never have the data been more convincing than what was just published on Friday. In the Commission's release of this weekly Commitment of Traders report for positions held as of April 4, 2017. Now check this out. The report indicates that the concentrated net short position held by four of the largest traders on the COMEX silver futures hit an all-time extreme in numbers of contracts. 78,021, the equivalent of 390 million ounces of silver. And you wonder why the silver price hasn't gone anywhere. The concentrated net short position of the 8 largest traders was indicated at 104,978 contracts, or the equivalent of nearly 525 million ounces of electronic shorts, or more than 60% of the world's annual mine production. 60% of the mine production. Unbelievable. No other commodity comes close to COMEX silver futures in terms of a larger concentrated short position when compared to real-world production. On its face, the silver concentrated short position in COMEX silver futures would appear to be an artificial price depressant. It would appear, of course it would appear. 60% of what was mined last year is being shorted. It's like not even having a market. As you know, the Commission monitors and publishes concentration data in all regulated future markets as the prime frontline defense against price manipulation. After all, it would be nearly impossible to manipulate any market without a concentrated position. But not only do COMEX silver futures stand out as having the world's largest short position of any commodity in relative terms to real-world production, consumption, and existing inventories, the concentrated short position in COMEX silver futures is notable for other reasons. So basically he's saying not only does your own data say this is absolutely insane, but there's more reasons that you should be worried. For one reason, the big short traders do not appear to be engaged in any sort of legitimate hedging, since there are no signs that they represent actual producers or hedgers of physical holdings. Separate agency data contained in the monthly bank participation report indicate that the largest shorts are mostly all domestic and foreign banks, essentially operating as speculators in a pseudo-market making capacity against other speculators. Publicly owned mining companies are required to disclose any hedge activities, and few, if any, have disclosed any hedging in silver. So you've got mine production at almost 1 billion ounces. You got the banks shorting 60% of that, and none of the mines are hedging. Practically none of the mines are hedging. It is insanity. I'm going to skip a few paragraphs. All perfect data, just nails them, and there's nothing they can say about it. The largest COMEX silver short seller for the past 9 years is J.P. Morgan. Surprise, surprise. That has been the case ever since it acquired the failing investment bank Bear Stearns, the former largest COMEX silver short seller, according to Commission data and its correspondence with lawmakers. Ted had got a letter stating from the CFTC that the newly added position, gigantic short position of J.P. Morgan was legit because they got it from a failed entity that they took over. And the only failed entity that they took over at that time was Bear Stearns. So Ted just nailed them on that one, and they gave up the ghost. The special manipulative twist here is that since 2011, J.P. Morgan has engaged in an epic accumulation of physical silver at prices much lower than would have existed if the bank had not also been the largest silver short seller on the COMEX. So they're naked shorting silver on the COMEX, and they're taking up all the physical silver. The way this game works is that J.P. Morgan knows there's a difference between physical silver and electronic COMEX silver. The COMEX silver is a game, and that game will end in a really sad implosion. The physical silver is what you want in your possession, which is exactly what J.P. Morgan is doing. I'm going to go to it. Ted outlines all the contracts, how much silver they're hedging versus taking physical delivery of it. It's over 600 million ounces that they're have taken physical delivery of. Almost without fail, on every past occasion where the concentrated short position in COMEX silver futures reaches extreme levels, it was only a matter of time before the price of silver gets rigged lower by these big shorts to induce speculative selling from traders operating on technical price signals. That's what they do. The shorts get shorter and shorter and shorter, and then they slam it down and try to cover every single time, and the CFTC does nothing about it. Now, will these new people do something about it? That is what we want to know. That is why Ted is asking everyone to copy and paste this. Copy his letter, which is, go to roadtoruta.com. It's the very top article. You download the PDF, you copy it all, and you paste it, and you send it to these email addresses. The email addresses are at the bottom of the letter. This can't be easier for you guys. We can all do this. If we have, say, 10,000 of us sending letters to these two new regulators who are in very, very important positions, one's in the most important position, the Chief Market Intelligence Officer, we need to smarten him up, and smarten him up fast. The world is running out of silver, and we need to make sure that these criminals get nailed for what they did. And it's been a long, long time, and I know everybody who's sent letters to the CFTC and to the Justice Department and to every single person around is completely exhausted from doing it. But if we stop, nobody's going to do it. So we need to get on the ball. Go right now to roadtoruta.com, print out this article, and look for Ted. Ted will be publishing it tomorrow. Find this article, print it out, mail it also. The address of the CFTC is right on the top as well. Send them emails, mail it, send it, send it so they have to sign for it. That would be great. The new guy, Andrew Bush. Oh, what am I signing for? Can you see it? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it registered mail so Andrew Bush has to sign for it. I'm going to write on it, no, his secretary can't sign for it. Anyway, Ted is asking for our help. If you are pissed off at the silver manipulators, help Ted. Help me. Help you. We need to end silver manipulation, and we can do it. We got new people at the CFTC, and I know they always let us down, but if we stop, we're definitely going to lose. If we keep doing it, we're going to get them one day. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. I have to run and mail out my letter right now. I hope you are too.